After 7 years of dating, Amelia and I were finally getting married. Just as I was happily preparing for the wedding, Amelia suddenly disappeared. When I found her, she looked at me with guilt. Julian, Preston's father, is seriously ill, and his last wish before dying is to see Preston get married. I'm just helping Preston out, you have to understand. Preston's father watched me grow up. I can't just ignore him. I disagreed. Even when I suggested finding Preston a girlfriend, Amelia still insisted on her own idea. Julian, we've been together for so many years. Don't you trust me at all? In other words, you're too heartless. Preston's father watched me grow up. He treats me like his own daughter. What's wrong with me helping him out? Looking at Amelia in front of me, at that moment, she felt completely unfamiliar. Finally, I said helplessly, then I'll get someone to make a fake marriage certificate. You can give the fake documents to his dad. Will that work? Who knew Amelia would jump up as if she'd been stepped on? Julian, how can you be so heartless? I really underestimated you. But I'm just informing you about this, not discussing it with you. Remember, you're just my boyfriend. Don't even think about controlling me. I clenched my fists, the love that had accumulated in my heart for many years. At that moment, it seemed to dissipate with the wind. I looked at Amelia, and there was no longer any love in my eyes. In that case, let's break up. The atmosphere instantly froze. Because it happened so suddenly, the office door wasn't closed. The colleagues outside were curiously watching inside. Amelia abruptly turned around, then looked at me in shock. Do you know what you're saying? Julian, you're breaking up with me over such a small matter? Have you ever cherished our relationship? Have you ever loved me? Anger made her lose her mind, and she grabbed the ashtray on the side and threw it at me. I couldn't dodge in time, and the ashtray hit my head heavily, and blood instantly flowed down. Julian, think about your own life. Without the help of my family and Preston's father, would you be where you are today? Let me tell you, the reason I chose to be with you is because I pitied you, a poor boy who came from the countryside. Why do you think I would be interested in you? Now that life is better, you've forgotten your identity, haven't you? Don't think that just because I'm having a fake marriage, even if I really married Preston, you'd have to tolerate it. Don't ever forget, you're just a card in my hand that I can discard at any time. Don't think you're anybody special. Listening to Amelia's words, I surprisingly didn't feel any anger. So after all these years, I, the poor boy from the countryside, was still so insignificant in her eyes. Even though I worked hard to change my fate, using all my strength to start a business just to give her a good life, now all of that, in her eyes, had become so worthless. Back in college, everyone looked at me with disdain, but Amelia was different. Back then, she was like an angel in my life. Her appearance made me stop being insecure, and even gave me the desire to work harder in life. At that time, she was a wealthy girl in other people's eyes, and just one of her outfits was enough for several months of my living expenses. But even so, there was no contempt in her eyes at all. It was just that Preston had always been by her side, and everyone thought the two of them were a match made in heaven. Until, just before graduation, there was a change in the Shun family's business, and the Shun family went bankrupt. At that time, Preston left her in the name of studying abroad. I worked 3 jobs a day to help her pay off her debts, and it wasn't until 3 years later that we paid off all her debts. And at that moment, I successfully won her over. After that, I proposed marriage countless times, but she always said that we had nothing now and marriage had no security. For that one sentence, I started my own business, and it took me 7 years to get to where I am with the company now. Now our lives have changed, the debts have been paid off, and everything has become better. But what I didn't expect was that Preston returned a year ago. After he came back, everything changed. Blood blurred my eyes, and I opened my mouth with a hoarse voice. Amelia, are you really sure you want to do this? Seeing my condition, Amelia let out a sigh. Her attitude also softened. Julian, I know this is a bit unfair to you. I know you've been preparing for our wedding for many years, and I've seen you discussing every detail with the wedding planner every day. But I can't ignore it. My relationship with the Gu family is something I can't disregard, So don't even think about using our feelings to stop me. I laughed. Even if I used my feelings to stop her, could I stop her? In the 7 years we've been together, I was afraid she would feel wronged, so I agreed to everything she wanted. This led to her developing an arrogant personality. At this time, my expression was full of disappointment. So, even if you put a green hat on my head, I have to tolerate it, right? My words seemed to hit a sore spot, and Amelia, who had calmed down, roared again, "Julian, watch your language. I'm just helping Preston's father out. Why do you have to make it sound so terrible? What do you mean by putting a green hat on you? Didn't I say that I'm just having a fake marriage with him? When Preston's father passes away, we'll get divorced, and then we'll have our wedding as planned. You've waited 7 years. What's a little more time? Besides, our fake marriage isn't for nothing. Preston's father said that as long as we get the certificate, he'll give me several subsidiaries under his name. For our future, what's wrong with you being a little wronged?" I didn't say anything. The moment Amelia closed the door and left, I felt like all my strength had been drained. I knew what she was going out to do. Downstairs from the company, Preston's sports car had been parked below for a long time. I watched Amelia put her arms around Preston's neck and kiss him on the mouth. So, the heart really can ache unbearably at a certain moment. In the end, I made a decision. Leave this place of heartbreak. I silently opened my mailbox, and there was an invitation from a headhunting company overseas. I replied with an agreement and started packing up my office. After so many years, I actually didn't leave behind anything of value. Besides the items needed for work, my personal belongings were very few. After doing these things, I prepared to go home and pack my luggage. As soon as I got to the door, I heard laughter coming from inside the house. "This suit looks so good. It's the one I like." "Amelia, thank you. You always remember what I like." I pretended not to hear and pushed the door open. I saw the wedding suit I had custom-made was now being worn by Preston. "Take it off. Who told you to wear my clothes?" The anger I'd been suppressing finally exploded, and I couldn't help but roar out loud. But instead of Preston taking off the clothes, I received a slap in the face from Amelia. "Julian, what are you yelling about? It's just a suit. I can buy you another one." I snorted coldly. "Buy? Do you know that I spent a lot of money to have an Italian designer specially design it? There's only one of these in the world." Amelia said disdainfully, "So what? Preston looks good in it, so I'm giving this suit to Preston." I was so angry that I couldn't speak, and my eyes stared fiercely at her. At this time, Preston spoke. "Amelia, don't be angry. I'll take it off." As he said this, he began to take off his clothes, but the next moment, with a ripping sound, the sleeve of the suit tore. I rushed forward, but before I could check the suit, Preston fell to the ground. "Brother Julian, I'm sorry I broke your clothes, but please don't hit me, okay? I'll pay you for the clothes, no matter how much it costs. I'll give it to you." Before I could say anything, the next moment, a vase hit my head heavily. My eyes went black, and I passed out directly. When I woke up again, I was in a hospital. The ward was frighteningly quiet. Did you hear? That President Amelia spent a lot of money to bring all the experts to the VIP ward. I heard. It is said that the man only fell and had a little scratch, but the one in our ward was hit on the head with a vase, and there are still broken pieces of glass in his head. Listening to the nurse's words, I understood why my ward was so quiet. So, Amelia favored Preston so much. So, my life and death really didn't mean anything in her eyes. The nurse who was talking outside came in and carefully helped me remove the broken glass from the wound. At this time, I couldn't care less about the pain in the wound. My heart hurt more than the wound. The two nurses were very kind, and they both advised me to stay in the hospital for observation for a period of time, but I refused. I didn't have much time, and I had to take care of things in China before leaving the country. So at my insistence, after getting a tetanus shot, I checked out of the hospital. Although in the process, the nurse asked if I needed to call the police, I refused. What could I get even if I called the police? It was better to end this sooner and leave completely. Coming out of the ward, what I didn't expect was that I would run into Amelia and Preston. Amelia was supporting Preston, looking like a couple in love. Seeing me appear, Preston immediately shrank behind Amelia. "Brother Julian, I know I was wrong. Please don't hit me. I'll compensate you for the clothes. No matter how much money it is, I'll give it to you." Preston spoke pitifully, as if he was a victim. Seeing this, Amelia immediately became unhappy and walked directly in front of me. "Julian, what do you want to do? It's just a suit, isn't it? You've vented your anger. We didn't ask you for compensation. Not calling the police is already enough to give you face. What else do you want?" Looking at her arrogant appearance, she seemed like a stranger. I sneered. "What can I do? I just ran into you when I was discharged from the hospital. I didn't say anything. Are you feeling guilty? Or do you think whoever has the loudest voice is right?" Since we had already torn face, I didn't plan to save them any face. Amelia was speechless for a moment, not knowing what to say. More and more people were gathering around, and I spoke again. "Amelia, you keep saying you... Let me ask you, who are you dating now? Are you not ashamed to be doing this?" A look of struggle flashed across Amelia's face, but Preston suddenly spoke up. "Amelia, go pay the bill for me. I want to chat with Big Brother Julian." Seeing this, she quickly fled. Preston then came to me. "Julian, you know what? You're a joke. Do you believe that even if we have a fake marriage, you won't get her? With just one call from me, she'll immediately leave your side and come find me. That's the kind of relationship we have. Do you think you can compete?" Provocation. Naked provocation. If I answered him, I would fall for his trick, so I ignored him and prepared to turn and leave. But just then, Preston suddenly grabbed me, a subtle smile appearing on the corner of his mouth. "Do you believe I can ruin you right now?" I looked at him in surprise, and the next second, he conveniently pulled me down, lying on top of me, using my hand to repeatedly hit his face. From a distance, it looked like I was beating him. I tried to struggle up, but he held me down tightly. "Julian, starting today, I'll make you completely lose Amelia." Before I could speak, Amelia ran over with the police. At that moment, I realized I'd fallen for a trap. Inside the police station, we stood facing each other. Preston's face was full of smugness. After Amelia finished dealing with the matter, she looked at me and gave me a kick. The unhealed wound slammed heavily against the wall. Cold sweat broke out all over me. She wanted to step forward again, but a policeman came over. "What are you doing? This is a police station, not a place for you to run wild." Seeing this, Amelia stopped. The police told us to settle it ourselves. However, I was about to go abroad, and I couldn't afford to be detained because of this, so the first thing I had to do was to quickly resolve the matter. So I said, "Tell me, how can this be resolved?" Amelia didn't know how to speak. Preston whispered in her ear, but I heard it clearly. "How about the position of deputy general manager of the company? Make him give it up." I stared at Amelia, and seeing the moved expression on her face, I already knew the answer. "Julian, I don't think you're in a suitable state to manage the company right now. How about you hand over the company and go travel and rest? As for the rest, we'll discuss it when you come back." I smiled at her, all emotion already gone from my eyes. "Why put it so nicely? You just want me to give up my position." "No problem. I submitted my resignation to HR yesterday. As for my position, you can do whatever you want with it. After all, you're the boss." Amelia didn't expect me to say this and was stunned for a moment. At this time, Preston spoke again. "Amelia, my new house isn't decorated yet, and my dad is recovering at home. We can't use our family's house for the wedding, so why don't we use your house first?" My eyes turned cold, but thinking that I was about to leave, I didn't say anything. But Amelia hesitated. She knew that the house was mine, and my name was on the property certificate. If I didn't agree, there was no way to make it happen. Just when she didn't know what to do, I said, "I've already had a lawyer draw up an agreement for the house. Now that house is yours. You can do whatever you want with it. I have no objection." Obviously, Amelia was a little surprised by my decision. So her attitude softened. "Julian, thank you. I know you're wronged, but believe me, after this is over, I'll make it up to you." I smiled and didn't speak. Did I care about her compensation? If I did, I wouldn't have done any of these things. Right now, I just wanted to get away from her and live my own life. Amelia wanted to say something, but I waved my hand to interrupt. Is it okay to handle it this way? Can I leave? Amelia nodded quickly. Yes, we'll sign the settlement agreement now. It was late at night when we finished dealing with the matter. That night, the three of us went back to my house together, but the two of them sat there flirting and making love while I packed my luggage and left directly. Before leaving, Amelia asked me where I was going. I said I found a hotel outside, stay there for one night, and go traveling tomorrow. She believed what I said and told me to be careful. The moment the door closed, I knew that our relationship was completely over. Coming downstairs, the car I had booked was already parked there. Next stop, the airport. I would say goodbye to this city and Amelia completely. The moment I boarded the plane, I removed the SIM card and threw my phone directly into the trash can at the airport. From now on, this city will no longer have any news about me. That night, Amelia and Preston returned to the Goof family. Preston's father, who was originally seriously ill, suddenly became full of energy because of their arrival. Not only could he sit up and chat and laugh, but he could also smoke and drink. Amelia thought it was all her credit and became very happy. The next morning, the two of them went directly back to my house. They were like a married couple for many years. As soon as she entered the door, Amelia began to prepare breakfast. In all the years she was with me, she hadn't even entered the kitchen a few times, let alone made breakfast. The two of them began discussing the matter of getting a marriage certificate at the dining table. Just then, a phone call interrupted the two people's fantasies. Ms. Amelia, we are the wedding planner. The wedding dress you ordered here has been made. You can come try it on. Hanging up the phone, Amelia looked at Preston, her eyes revealing joy. Preston, thank you. You're so good to me. Preston was confused by her, but still said, Of course, I'm only good to you. When the two went to the wedding dress shop, Amelia still believed that the wedding dress was customized for her by Preston, until at the store, a service staff member brought a beautiful wedding dress and walked to Amelia. Ms. Amelia, this was specially designed for you by Mr. Julian a year ago by a French designer. After a year, it's finally completed. We originally wanted to find Mr. Julian, but we don't know why we can't contact him, so we called you. Amelia looked at the wedding dress in shock. Whether it was in terms of material or design, everything was what she liked. So she confirmed again. Are you sure there's no mistake? Julian ordered this wedding dress? Not Preston. Preston awkwardly said from the side. Amelia, there might be a mistake. Don't worry about it. Try it on first. The clerk didn't give him a chance. Ms. Amelia, this is how it is. The wedding dresses in our store need to be customized at least 1 year in advance. This gentleman has no customization information in our store, so I can tell you with certainty that the wedding dress was ordered by Mr. Julian. The moment the truth came out, Amelia looked at Preston, only to see Preston avoiding eye contact. Just as she was about to question him, an urgent phone call interrupted her plan. President Amelia, something bad has happened to the company. Seeing this, Amelia couldn't care less about trying on the wedding dress. Got up and was about to leave. Preston shouted at her, Amelia, where are you going? Amelia said without looking back, Something's happened to the company. You go home and wait for me. When Amelia arrived at the company, all the company partners who had previously cooperated were blocking the company's entrance. Where's President Julian? We cooperated with you because of President Julian. Now that President Julian is gone, you have to give us an explanation. An assistant came to Amelia's side. President Amelia, these are all companies that have been cooperating with us. Previously, President Julian was the one who contacted them, but after President Preston came up, he directly chose to breach the contract and gave all the work in the hands of these partners to the Goof family's company. Amelia understood. These people were here to ask for liquidated damages. When she finished dealing with these things, she became more and more angry. Why didn't Preston discuss it with her first? So she hurriedly called Preston, but found that no one answered. So she hurriedly drove home, but she didn't expect that even more cruel things were waiting for her. As Amelia drove, she called Preston, but it always showed that no one was answering. When she returned home, the scene in the room almost made her faint. Scattered all over the floor from the living room to the bedroom were clothes, including women's high heels. She held her breath and walked towards the bedroom. The moment she opened the door, she could no longer control her emotions. Preston was on the bed, embracing a young woman. Amelia rushed forward and pulled Preston up. "What are you doing?" "Preston, I even gave up Julian for you. Is this how you treat me?" Preston opened his eyes, saw Amelia, and immediately knelt on the ground. "I was wrong. Amelia, this is my first time. You have to believe me." Amelia roared, pointing at the naked woman on the bed. "It's already like this. How can you ask me to believe you?" Preston knelt on the ground. "When you left me alone in the bridal shop, I thought you didn't want me anymore. So I went to drink. But I drank too much. I don't know who this woman is. I don't even recognize her. I just thought I was drunk, and you came to pick me up home. If you hadn't woken me up, I would have thought I was lying next to you." Preston's clumsy acting wouldn't fool anyone, but Amelia believed it. In the end, the matter was resolved simply by kicking the woman out, and Preston kept sobbing beside her, as if he had been wronged. Finally, Amelia actually forgave him. "Preston, this is the last time. I choose to believe you one more time. If there is a next time, let's just break up." She endured this incident, and the two of them gradually began preparing for the wedding. In the blink of an eye, a month had passed, and the wedding day arrived as scheduled. During this time, Amelia personally handled everything herself. The hardships of the process made her constantly think of how good I was. Backstage at the wedding, Amelia found a professional makeup artist to create a delicate look for her. With only an hour left before the wedding started, Amelia was very excited. At this moment, she completely forgot that she was only having a fake marriage and completely regarded herself as the bride. But just as she got up to go to the bathroom, a conversation shattered all her dreams. "Preston, how is it going? Our family's company probably won't last much longer." Preston's father looked radiant at this time, showing no signs of illness at all. "Dad, don't worry. Her boyfriend has already been kicked out by me. Amelia has been busy with the wedding these days and can't take care of the company. I've already transferred all the company's funds to our family's company. Now her company is just an empty shell. After we get married, I will immediately find a way to swindle her family's assets. And then solving our family's debt problem will be a minor matter." Preston's father patted Preston on the shoulder. "Son, well done, but it would be bad if she found out about this. You have to be careful. Also, your wife abroad has been calling home a lot recently. Find an opportunity to resolve this matter, lest it cause trouble." Preston nodded arrogantly. "Don't worry, these things are not a big deal. I will solve them." Amelia felt as if she had fallen into an ice cave, and her whole body collapsed. The truth is often more cruel than anything else. Amelia didn't have the courage to go forward. She silently walked back to the dressing room. Then she dialed the company's phone number. But the number she had dialed countless times before had now become an empty number. Finally, she dialed the vice president's personal phone number. Only then did she learn that the old employees in the company had been driven away by Preston 3 days after I left, and they had all been replaced by the Goof family's cronies. Just then, the hotel lobby manager walked over. "President Amelia, the cost of this banquet needs to be settled by you." Amelia looked at the amount above in disbelief. All the expenses incurred here today had to be paid by her, and Preston had not contributed a single cent from beginning to end. At this moment, she finally understood that she had been played by Preston like a monkey from beginning to end. So, she took off her wedding dress and walked directly to Preston, slapping him in the face without saying a word. "Preston, you Goof family are really shameless. I thought your father was about to die, so I decided to help you. It turns out that this is all a family scheme. Now I know that this is all a trap. You are just deceiving me. I'm not marrying you. Marry whoever you want." Amelia thought that her words would bring an apology from Preston, but unexpectedly, Preston sneered. "Okay, if you don't want to marry, then don't. Do you think I want to marry you? If I didn't value your company, do you think I would come back to you? Let me tell you, I don't love you at all. I've been married for a long time, and I even have a mixed-race son. You have no value to me now. Get out." "Oh, right, there's one more thing I forgot to tell you. Your family's company went bankrupt because of my father. It's just that I didn't expect that you could make a comeback with Julian's help. Otherwise, your shunned family would have been finished a long time ago." After Preston finished speaking, he got up and left directly, leaving Amelia alone to sit on the ground crying. A wedding finally ended in a farce. Amelia became the laughingstock of the whole city at once, and the media were reporting on the matter. In the end, Amelia didn't even keep the company. In despair, she returned home. The moment she entered the door, memories of me flooded her mind. Looking at the empty room, she remembered that when she came back before, I would always prepare a table full of food and wait for her. When she wanted to take a shower, the bathroom would be cleaned thoroughly. The moment she lay down, a glass of hot milk would be brought to her. People always know to cherish when they lose something. Now, all my good qualities began to emerge. Amelia took out her phone, which contained a photo of us together. At this moment, she could no longer hold back her tears. "Julian, I was wrong. I really know I was wrong. But it was too late. I was already living well abroad." That day, Amelia dialed my number again and again, but she still couldn't find me. Looking at the conspicuous red exclamation mark on the WeChat chat box, she panicked. It turned out that this time, she had really lost me. So she found her former colleague and begged her to tell her where I was. Finally, the colleague couldn't resist her and told her my location. That night, she boarded the plane. "Julian, I must bring you back. Life abroad is far more challenging than in China. During my time here, I have lived a fulfilling life every day, and even sleeping has become especially sweet. However, the only thing that makes me feel bad is that I met Amelia downstairs in the company. Actually, a few days ago, my old employee in China told me that Amelia had inquired about my location from him. I thought it was just out of curiosity. I didn't expect her to really come. Now, as our eyes met, I realized that this woman had really come. "Julian, I know I was wrong. Please forgive me." Amelia saw me and rushed to me. It was as if we had been reunited after a long separation. But she forgot that she had personally pushed me away without leaving any room for maneuver. I dodged her embrace, and seeing my actions, a hint of disappointment flashed in her eyes. "Julian, I know you hate me. I know I was wrong. I was so wrong to not listen to you back then, and to believe Preston's lies. I really know I was wrong." Amelia cried, tears streaming down her cheeks. But I remained unmoved. Perhaps my indifference stung her nerves, and she became even more deranged. She began to slap herself repeatedly, and then she kept repeating, "Forgive me, Julian. I know I was wrong. I really can't live without you. I still want to marry you. I saw the wedding dress you specially made for me. I like it very much. Please forgive me." I sighed helplessly and slowly opened my mouth. "Amelia, we broke up a long time ago. You don't have to be like this. Let's just pretend we never met. Okay?" As soon as I spoke, she broke down even more. "I don't want to. Julian, you can't abandon me. I love you. You can't abandon me." I took a step back and said, "Amelia, it's not that I don't want you. It's that you don't want me. When you resolutely chose to marry Preston, did you ever think about my feelings? When you made things difficult for me again and again for Preston, did you ever consider my heart? Amelia, my love for you has long since disappeared in your acts of inhumanity. Now, I'm begging you, please, please let me go. Don't appear in my world again. I have the life I want. Please don't bother me anymore, okay?" I spoke almost pleadingly, then turned and left directly. I thought she would give up, but I didn't expect that not only did she not leave, but she became even more intensified. When I went to work in the morning, breakfast would be delivered to the office, and coffee would be delivered at noon. In a week's time, she became close to my foreign colleagues. Even my boss said she was very good. Finally, helplessly, I kicked her out of the company in front of everyone. "Amelia, please leave my world, whether in this life or the next. I don't want to have anything to do with you ever again. You know what? Your presence makes me feel disgusted. If it were possible, I really wish we had never met." My words, like a nail, pierced deeply into her heart. She looked at me with a sorrowful face. Do I really have no chance at all? Without any hesitation, I said firmly, yes, as far as I'm concerned, we can't even be friends. Her body trembled violently. Then she said dejectedly, okay, I understand. That day, she left, and for a long time afterward, she didn't appear in my world. It was as if everything had never happened. My life changed because of Amelia, and it also took a different direction because of her. 3 years later, the company decided to return to China to expand its business, because I was the most familiar with the Chinese market in the entire company. So I was sent back. Stepping on my homeland again, everything felt familiar and strange. The scenery on the streets had undergone tremendous changes in just a few years. The park we once used as a campsite had now become high-rise buildings. While lamenting the development of China, I didn't expect even bigger surprises waiting to shock me. Because I had just returned to China, my former classmates insisted on having a gathering with me. At the dinner table, everyone chatted about everything under the sun, talking about their recent situations. Until one classmate took the lead and said, Julian, do you know about Amelia's situation? I shook my head in confusion. So, my classmates began to tell the story of Amelia. It turned out that after returning from abroad, Amelia didn't return to this city, but went to a neighboring city to develop, and within just 1 year, she had taken up a high-level management position. Then she began to expand her business empire, reaching out to the Gu family's company. During that year, the Gu family's industries collapsed one after another, and Preston's father really became seriously ill because of this matter, and soon passed away. Preston could still manage the company at first, but later, for some reason, he became addicted to gambling, spending day and night immersed in casinos. He didn't care about anything in the company, and Preston's mother went to various casinos every day to find him, but the result was obviously unsuccessful. Later, one time, after coming out of the casino, Preston and his mother had a fierce argument. Just then, a truck lost control in the distance and directly hit his mother. Before she could be taken to the hospital, she had already stopped breathing. Later, when Preston finally woke up, it was too late. The huge gambling debts he owed were like death warrants, chasing him every day. Finally, on the anniversary of his father's death, Preston chose to jump off a building and commit suicide. Although everyone didn't say it, they all understood that Amelia was behind this. Their two families were destined for the final outcome from the beginning, and ultimately one person had to use their life to complete this feud. It seemed that Amelia had changed a lot during this time. Julian, weren't you with Amelia before? Is she really that ruthless? My thoughts were pulled back, and I said with a smile, who knows? Maybe it's all coincidence. We can't talk nonsense about matters of life and death. This gathering ended with everyone getting drunk. But I never thought that I would meet Amelia again in China. It was an auction. I was representing the company to participate, and the seat next to me, whether intentionally or unintentionally by the organizers, was occupied by Amelia. Julian, are you doing well? I nodded and echoed. I'm doing fine. Seeing my cold tone, she didn't say anything else. During the activity, it seemed that only the two of us felt most awkward, to the point that no one remembered what the purpose of the activity was. After the activity, Amelia caught up with me as I was about to leave. In such a hurry, is there something going on? I glanced at the time. It's getting late. I have to go home and cook for my wife and children. Amelia looked at me in shock. You're married? I said, yes, my child is already 1 year old. A trace of loneliness flashed across Amelia's expression. It seems that I really have no chance. I personally lost you back then, and now there's no way to get you back. I said with a smile, fate is a wonderful thing. There's no fate between us. No matter how hard we try, there won't be any result. Maybe the fate that belongs to you is about to come. After speaking, I turned and left. Amelia shouted loudly, Julian, from what point did you completely stop loving me? I stopped, didn't answer, and continued to leave. Behind me, I heard her muttering, it was from the moment I chose to betray, right? It turns out I was really wrong, completely wrong. My figure grew farther and farther away. Now I have my own happy family. Let the past be the past. There's no point in dwelling on it. After all, as the old saying goes, after the dark clouds, there is a rainbow.